So now you lead Midjourney, which has one of the most well-known AI-driven image generators. What inspired you to launch Midjourney, and what sets them apart?
I feel like there's a lot of problems in the world, and even though I might be good at solving problems, I certainly can't solve all the problems. So the theme of my life is I always want to try to figure out how to make people just in the world broadly more empowered to solve problems, so that collectively we can kind of solve anything. And so in my first company, it was about human-computer interaction, so they could get people to kind of work with technology better. That collective thing might be good enough to do things. But then I started to realize actually that even if I gave everybody else hand tracking and virtual reality and augmented reality, it still would not let them necessarily be like me. And so I started to think maybe less about the technology side, more about just the raw process of creation. Like how do we create things? We reflect about who we are, what we want, we imagine what could be, and then we have to work with ourselves on this to get there. So I said, I want to build a company trying to focus on that, those set of things, and I want to try to make those things better. And I want to, hopefully that at the end of that we have like a new set of things to reshape the world. And so that's a lot of things I just said. Obviously, I think if y'all look at the image stuff we do, it seems very aligned with the sort of imaginative thing, increasing the imaginative powers of people, which is what we talk about. I think it also ends up coming down to being a very reflective thing too. Because very often we don't just reflect and imagine, we also like imagine to reflect. And so a lot of people are just making things or thinking about their lives, what they find beautiful, what they want the world to be like. And so it's only the start of something, but it's a good start.
How does Midjourney's AI image generation process work, and what is Discord's role in that experience?
So we did a weird thing where we normally do a launch like an app or a website. We made all of these and we tested them. People like making pictures on Discord with us, which is like a chat thing.
How many people know Discord?
Yeah.
Of course you all do.
There you go. So people just like making pictures of each other on Discord, and so we decided to launch it that way. And then I was like, oh no, it's social, we probably should do it on Discord. And then we kind of took over Discord. We became the largest server on Discord. So big that, like, at first Discord got me annoyed. I was like, who are these guys taking pictures? And then they came to us one day and they go, the gateway's about to go down. I'm like, what? It's like, if you take the gateway down, what was the gateway? It's like, if you take the gateway down, Discord goes down. And then at that point, like, we started talking a lot more and working together. It's like, we basically were about to take down Discord because there was so much traffic through it, which is cool. So we kind of took over Discord. Now we have a website too, so if you guys hate Discord, you probably don't. But, the website's really good. You can make images online too. It's a really great interface.
So how does the AI image generation process work?
Yes. That's actually easier than the Discord question.
Okay.
Diffusion, we use a thing called diffusion models. And diffusion models are kind of this magical thing where you show AI a noisy version of something. So imagine this picture, and it's a noisy picture. You add noise to it, and then you say, okay, remove the noise a little bit, just one step. And then you show it different levels of noise, and so it gets good at removing any amount of noise just a little bit each time. And then you have this network that's denoising, it's removing the noise from something. But sometimes you say you get a lot of noise, like all noise. And it says, I don't really know what the heck is this? So it moves it a little bit. And then once you get really good at removing noise, you can actually just start with noise. And then it'll just like hallucinate things out of the noise until it becomes an image. And so that's this diffusion model. It's a little bit like how water can sort of evaporate, sort of form these shapes. You're kind of creating this physics system that naturally creates these things like clouds. And then there's this other thing, which is you end up guiding it, so you end up saying like, okay, I want you to denoise this, but the secret is it's a cat. And then it gets really good at like hallucinating cats. And so it's sort of then guiding the denoising process with the text itself, which basically means you tell it what you want, and then it sort of hallucinates that thing out of noise until it becomes an image. It's kind of crazy to do that. Everything in AI is probably wrong, but the things that do work involve some form of truth that we should all be thinking about. And the fact that works is really interesting.
What challenges did you face in training Midjourney's models?
I think the hardest thing about so our models are really different than like ChatGPT. Like arguably ChatGPT is like trying to answer a question, so we call them assistants. Whereas ours is like, it's trying to help you make something that you think is beautiful, and it's very hard to measure. And so there's a lot of subjectivity, and it's not very well defined, it's very fuzzy, it's not like math. And so I really like that. I really like it when something's like, it's not really well defined, how do you measure it, and like, how do we do that? And so I would say that, I would say we definitely have made it more quantified. Like we have tools like quantitative aesthetics. Like you can create sciences with things, even beauty. But there is subjectivity, which is interesting too. So at this point, if you use Midjourney, and you ask it for a cat, it'll make a different cat for you than for everybody else. So it actually tries to learn what kind of, if you like cats or not, like what kind of cat you like, and sort of tries to sort of figure out every person's objective and subjective form of beauty. And it's really cool that you can do that. And if you do this for pictures, you probably do for all sorts of other things too.